the world watches with bated breath as tensions escalate on the global stage. A chilling alliance is forming, one that could alter the course of history. Vladimir Putin, the iron-fisted ruler of Russia, has turned to a new ally in his brutal war against Ukraine, seeking to regain lost ground. Kim Jong-un, the enigmatic dictator of North Korea, has answered the call, stepping into the fray with a calculated move. North Korean troops are on the move. Their destination, the heart of the Ukrainian conflict, ready to join the battle. This is not a drill. The stakes are higher than ever before. This is not a mere show of force. It is a declaration of intent. This is a strategic move with the potential to reshape the geopolitical landscape. Putin's desperation is palpable as he seeks to turn the tide. His invasion of Ukraine has not gone according to plan, facing unexpected resistance. The Ukrainian people have fought back with a ferocity that has stunned the world, showing incredible resilience. Faced with mounting losses and dwindling resources, Putin has turned to a rogue regime for support, hoping to change his fortunes. North Korea, isolated and sanctioned for its nuclear ambitions, sees an opportunity in chaos, a chance to assert its power. Kim Jong-un, eager to bolster his own standing and thumb his nose at the West, has offered up his soldiers as pawns in Putin's deadly game, seeking to gain leverage. The implications of this alliance are far-reaching and deeply troubling, casting a shadow over the future of global stability. For the first time since the Korean War, North Korean troops are operating on European soil, marking a significant and alarming development in global military dynamics. This is not a symbolic gesture, but a calculated move with far-reaching implications. It is a stark reminder of the global reach of authoritarianism, showcasing the expanding influence of regimes that challenge democratic norms. The Cold War may be over, but the specter of communist aggression has returned to haunt the world, bringing back memories of a divided globe. The presence of North Korean soldiers in Ukraine is a propaganda coup for both Putin and Kim, bolstering their narratives of defiance and strength. It sends a message to the West: we are not afraid of you, and we will not be intimidated by your power. We will stand together against your sanctions, your condemnations, and your attempts to isolate us, reinforcing our resolve and unity. The Kremlin has downplayed the significance of the North Korean deployment, claiming that these troops are merely there to assist with reconstruction efforts in Russian-occupied territories, a narrative that many find dubious. But these claims are paper-thin, lacking credibility and transparency. Satellite images and intelligence reports paint a different picture, revealing a more sinister reality. North Korean soldiers, armed and equipped for combat, are being integrated into Russian military units, indicating a deeper level of cooperation. They are being trained on Russian weaponry and tactics, enhancing their combat readiness and operational capabilities. They are being prepared for the front lines, ready to engage in active combat, a development that could escalate tensions further. North Korea's military is shrouded in secrecy. Western analysts have long debated the true extent of its capabilities. What is known is that North Korea has a massive standing army, numbering over 1 million soldiers. It also possesses a vast arsenal of conventional weapons, including artillery, tanks, and missiles. While much of North Korea's equipment is outdated, its sheer quantity cannot be ignored. Moreover, North Korea has developed a reputation for its ruthlessness and its willingness to absorb heavy casualties. Its soldiers are indoctrinated from birth to be loyal to the regime and to fearlessly sacrifice themselves for the supreme leader. The introduction of North Korean troops into the Ukrainian conflict injects a new element of unpredictability. These soldiers are battle-hardened, albeit in a different context. They are accustomed to hardship and privation, and they are fanatically devoted to their cause, however twisted it may be. The Ukrainian people have already endured unimaginable suffering. They have witnessed the destruction of their cities, the displacement of millions, and the deaths of countless innocent civilians. Now, they face a new threat, an influx of battle-hardened troops from a regime known for its brutality. The morale of the Ukrainian people remains high. They are determined to defend their homeland from all enemies, foreign and domestic. However, the arrival of North Korean troops adds a new layer of complexity to an already dire situation. Ukraine's armed forces have proven to be remarkably resilient and adaptable. They have effectively utilized Western weaponry and tactics to counter Russia's military superiority. But the Ukrainian military is facing a war of attrition. It is running low on ammunition, equipment, and manpower. The infusion of North Korean troops, however ill-equipped or poorly trained, could tilt the balance in Russia's favor. Putin's gamble, desperation, or strategic brilliance? Putin's decision to enlist the support of North Korea is a risky one. It has drawn international condemnation and further isolated Russia on the world stage. It has also exposed the weakness of Putin's position. Why would Putin, a leader who prides himself on his strategic acumen, make such a move? The answer lies in his desperation. Putin's invasion of Ukraine has not gone according to plan. He underestimated the resolve of the Ukrainian people and the willingness of the West to support them. Faced with mounting losses and the prospect of defeat, Putin is resorting to increasingly desperate measures. He is gambling that the addition of North Korean troops, however insignificant in the grand scheme of things, will be enough to turn the tide of the war. But Putin's gamble could backfire spectacularly. The West's dilemma, a defining moment for global order. The alliance between Russia and North Korea presents a profound challenge to the West, one that could reshape the geopolitical landscape. It is a test of our resolve, our commitment to democracy, and our willingness to defend the international rules-based order. The stakes are incredibly high. This is not just about Ukraine. It is a broader struggle for the principles we hold dear. It is about the future of freedom and security in Europe and beyond. The implications are global. The United States and its allies have provided Ukraine with billions of dollars in military and humanitarian aid. But is it enough to turn the tide? Are we doing everything in our power to help Ukraine defend itself against this new threat? The question remains critical. The stakes could not be higher. Every decision made now will have lasting consequences. If Putin and his allies are allowed to succeed in Ukraine, it will embolden other authoritarian regimes around the world. The ripple effects will be felt far and wide. It will send a message that aggression is rewarded and that the international community is powerless to stop it. We must act decisively. American hesitation, a vacuum filled by tyranny. The United States, the self-proclaimed leader of the free world, has been hesitant to provide Ukraine with the full range of military support it needs to defeat Russia. We have drawn red lines, imposed artificial limitations, and dragged our feet on delivering critical weaponry. Why? Is it fear of provoking Putin? Is it a lack of political will? Or is it a fundamental misunderstanding of the stakes involved? Whatever the reason, our hesitancy has created a vacuum that is being filled by tyrants and despots. While we debate the merits of sending long-range missiles or fighter jets, Putin is forging alliances with rogue regimes and escalating the conflict. The war in Ukraine is not just a regional conflict. It is a battle for the very soul of Europe and the future of democracy itself. If Putin is allowed to succeed, it will have devastating consequences for the international order. It will embolden other authoritarian regimes, from China to Iran, to pursue their own expansionist ambitions. It will undermine the credibility of the United States and its allies. And it will send a chilling message to the world. Might makes right. We cannot allow this to happen. The time for complacency is over. The time for half measures is past. The world must unite in support of Ukraine and send a clear message to Putin and his allies. Your aggression will not stand. We must provide Ukraine with the weapons it needs to defend itself, without exception or hesitation. We must impose crippling sanctions on Russia and its enablers. And we must hold those responsible for war crimes accountable for their actions. This is not just about Ukraine. This is about defending the very principles of freedom, democracy, and the rule of law. We cannot afford to fail. The Ukrainian people have shown incredible courage and resilience in the face of Russian aggression. They have taken up arms to defend their homeland, their families, and their way of life. They have inspired the world with their determination and their refusal to be cowed by tyranny. The international community must stand in solidarity with Ukraine. We must provide them with the material, financial, and moral support they need to prevail. We must not let them down. The fight for Ukraine is a fight for all of us. It is a fight for the values we hold dear: freedom, democracy, and the right to self-determination. The world is at a crossroads. The forces of authoritarianism are on the march. They are testing our resolve, our unity, and our commitment to the principles of freedom and democracy. The outcome of the war in Ukraine will have profound implications for the future of the international order. If Putin is allowed to succeed, it will embolden other dictators and despots around the world. It will send a message that aggression is rewarded and that the international community is powerless to stop it. The stakes could not be higher. We must not waver in our support for Ukraine. We must stand firm against tyranny, and we must never, ever give up on the fight for freedom. The world is watching. The future of democracy hangs in the balance. Thank you so much for watching. Your support means everything to us. If you enjoyed the content, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to stay updated with our latest videos, and share this video with friends to spread the word. See you in the next one!